Chosen one, it's no coincidence that you found this message today. The universe is conspiring in your favor at this very moment. You who have spent sleepless nights, shed silent tears, and kept your faith even when everything seemed lost, know that God has seen every second of your battle. And now, the time has come for the divine turnaround. Your struggle was not in vain. What I'm about to reveal will completely change your perspective because the celestial decree has already been made. Your victory is sealed. The doors that were locked will be flung open, the resources you lacked are on their way, and the peace you've sought for so long will finally arrive. Stay with me until the end, because every word of this message was specifically designed to transform your reality. Leave your comment with "I receive" to attract the blessings that are destined for you. Your life will never be the same after this revelation. Chosen one, what I'm about to reveal will shake the foundations of your life. At this very moment, as you hear these words, an irrevocable decision has been made in heaven. God has ended your battle. The struggle that has been consuming your strength, draining your energy, and testing your faith has just been declared finished by the Creator of the universe himself. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to live in constant victory while others remain in struggle? The answer isn't in human effort, but in divine decision. And today, that decision was made about your life. The Most High looked at your perseverance, saw your faithfulness even in the darkest moments, and decided, enough, my chosen one's battle has come to an end. When God decrees something in the spiritual realm, the natural world has no choice but to obey. Circumstances that seemed unchangeable begin to reorganize. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable begin to disintegrate. Doors that were locked begin to open, not because you did something different, but because a divine decision was made. Notice how a weight is being removed from your shoulders at this very moment. This feeling of relief is no coincidence. It's the physical reflection of a spiritual decree. Your battle has ended. Victory has already been won. What remains now is simply to witness the manifestation of this reality in the physical plane. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a clarity you've never experienced before. Visualize yourself walking with unshakable confidence, knowing that each step is aligned with divine purpose. Anticipate the peace that will flood your heart when you fully understand that you no longer need to fight. The battle has already been won for you. For years, you may have felt like David facing Goliath, seemingly at a disadvantage, with limited resources against intimidating giants. But just like David, you remained steadfast, confident not in your own abilities, but in the divine presence that never abandoned you. And now, just as it happened with David, the giant is about to fall. The divine decision that ended your struggle is not based on your merits or achievements. It's an act of sovereign grace. The Creator of the universe looked at your life and decided that the time has come for you to experience the victory that was always reserved for you. This is the hour of your transformation. When a decision is made in the spiritual realm, time in the natural world becomes irrelevant. What seemed like it would take years to resolve can manifest in days or even hours. Don't be surprised when situations that have tormented you for so long begin to unfold with surprising speed. This is the nature of divine decisions. They transcend the limitations of human time. You might be wondering, why now? Why did God wait so long to end my battle? The answer lies in your preparation. Every tear, every challenge, every moment of doubt serve to strengthen your faith, refine your character, and prepare you to carry the victory that is coming. You are not the same person you were when the battle began. You've been transformed in the process. This divine decision not only ends your struggle, but also inaugurates a new era in your life. An era of prosperity, peace, and purpose. What once seemed impossible will now become your new reality. The dreams you've held in your heart, those that seemed too distant to reach, are now within your grasp. Understand this. In the spiritual realm, Your victory is already reality. The decree has been made. What you will experience from now on is merely the manifestation of that reality in the physical plane. Don't let appearances deceive you. Don't let temporary circumstances deny the eternal truth that has been established over your life. From this moment on, begin to act like someone whose battle has been ended by divine decree. Speak words of victory. Make decisions based not on what your eyes see, but on what your faith knows. Act with the confidence of someone who is no longer fighting to win, but simply walking in victory, already won. Chosen one, the divine decision that ended your struggle is irrevocable. It's not a promise for the distant future, but a present reality. Your life is about to make a 180-degree turn. Prepare to witness the impossible becoming possible. Prepare to see the invisible becoming visible. Prepare to experience what it means to have God ending your battle and guaranteeing your victory. There is a sacred moment in the spiritual realm, a divine instant when your prayers cease to be just words and transform into celestial decrees. Have you ever wondered how many times your nighttime cries, your silent pleas, and your hidden tears have risen to heaven? Each one was recorded, each sigh was accounted for, and at this exact moment, the Creator of the universe looked at the accumulation of your prayers and said, "It is enough. The time has come." And when God hears your prayers, it's not like when humans hear. He doesn't just register the words, but feels the intensity of your heart. He sees beyond the phrases you manage to articulate and understands the deepest desires that even you can't express. And now, every prayer you've made, even those you thought were ignored, is being answered in an avalanche of blessings. Imagine a celestial reservoir where each of your prayers was stored like precious drops. Day after day, month after month, year after year, you continued praying, even when it seemed like nothing was happening. What you didn't know is that this reservoir was filling up, reaching its maximum point. And now, the floodgates have been opened. The abundance that was held back is flowing toward your life with irresistible force. Your prayers for prosperity, heard. Your cries for healing, answered. Your requests for restoration, granted. There isn't a single sincere prayer that came from your heart that hasn't been attended to by the Creator. Some you've already seen the answer to, others are on their way, and some are being answered at this very moment in ways you still can't see. There's a divine timer for each response. Some prayers are answered instantly, while others seem to take an eternity. But what seems like delay to human eyes is actually preparation in the spiritual realm. God wasn't ignoring you. He was preparing a response so grand that it needed time to be orchestrated. Notice how your life will begin to change in the coming days. Situations that seemed stagnant will begin to flow. People you never imagined would contact you will appear with unexpected opportunities. Doors that were closed will begin to open without you needing to force them. These are the visible signs that your prayers have been heard and the answers are manifesting. Remember that specific prayer you made when no one was looking? The one where you exposed your most vulnerable heart, asking for something that seemed impossible? It was precisely that prayer that touched God's heart in a special way. And the answer is on its way, greater and more surprising than you ever imagined. Often, we're so focused on asking that we forget to position ourselves to receive. Now is the time to open your heart, expand your vision, and prepare yourself to receive the abundance that is coming in response to your prayers. Don't limit God with small expectations. The response He has prepared for you is infinitely greater than you dared to ask. Your prayers changed the circumstances in the spiritual realm even before you saw the results in the natural world. While you continued praying, angelic armies were mobilized, spiritual forces were realigned, and God's own heart was moved in your favor. What you're about to experience is just the visible result of a battle that has already been won in the invisible. Perhaps you've been taught that some prayers go unanswered, that sometimes God says no. But the truth is, that when you pray aligned with divine purpose, every prayer is answered, sometimes differently than we imagine, but always better than we could plan. What seems like a no is often a wait. I have something better prepared for you. From today on, your prayers will have a new potency, because now you understand that you're not praying from a position of begging, but from a position of having already received authority to decree. Your words are no longer desperate pleas, but powerful declarations that shape reality. Pray with this awareness and see how the power of your words multiplies. The moment your prayers were heard marks the beginning of a new era in your spiritual life, an era in which you not only speak to God, but also learn to hear His voice with clarity, an era in which communication with the divine becomes as natural as breathing, an era in which you understand that you were never alone in your struggles. Chosen one, your prayers have been heard. The answer is on its way. Prepare to witness the manifestation of what you've cried out for so long. Heaven has moved in your favor, and nothing can prevent the fulfillment of divine promises over your life. Your faith was not in vain. Your harvest time has arrived. Chosen one, open your spiritual eyes at this very moment. As you hear these words, a profound transformation is already happening around you. Victory is not something distant, not a promise for an uncertain future. It's a reality that is already in full manifestation process in your life. The decree has already been made, the celestial gears have already been activated, and the entire universe is reorganizing itself to align with the divine purpose for your life. The manifestation of victory begins in the invisible before becoming visible. Like a seed that germinates beneath the soil before breaking the surface, your victory is already alive, already growing, already gaining strength. The signs may be subtle initially, a new idea that emerges in your mind, a seemingly casual encounter with someone significant, an inexplicable sensation of peace amid the storm. These are not coincidences. They are the first visible indications that your victory is underway. You need to understand a fundamental truth. In the spiritual realm, time works differently. What seems to take time in the natural world can be instantaneous in the divine realm. Your victory has already been decreed at the celestial throne. What you experience now is merely the interval between the divine decree and the complete manifestation in the physical world. This is not a time of passive waiting, but a sacred period of alignment and preparation. Think of Abraham, who received the promise of being the father of a great nation years before Isaac was born. During that interval, God was not idle. He was preparing Abraham to carry the blessing, transforming him internally, strengthening his faith, refining his character. Similarly, as your victory manifests, you too are being transformed to sustain it. The manifestation of your victory is not a single event, but a divine process. Each day brings a new dimension, a new facet of the blessing that is unfolding. You'll notice changes first in your interior, renewed confidence, a higher perspective, a peace that transcends understanding. These internal changes are as important as the external circumstances that are being reconfigured. Observe how situations that seemed hopelessly blocked begin to flow with surprising ease. People who served as obstacles suddenly change their attitude or are removed from your path. Resources that seemed inaccessible begin to appear from unexpected sources. These are tangible evidence that the manifestation of your victory is in full progress. Your victory is already guaranteed because it doesn't depend on your human effort, but on divine faithfulness. It's not something you need to conquer with your sweat, but something you receive by faith. The hardest part, the spiritual battle, has already been won. What remains now is simply to walk in faith, positioning yourself as someone who is already victorious, not as someone still struggling to win. Imagine an athlete who crosses the finish line before all other competitors. Even before the award ceremony, he is already the winner. The medal he will receive merely confirms what is already reality. Similarly, your victory is already reality in the spiritual realm. What you will see manifesting in the coming days are merely the visible confirmations of this truth already established. The manifestation of your victory will affect all areas of your life. Financially, you'll see blockages being removed and resources flowing like never before. In relationships, you'll see restoration where there was division and harmony where there was conflict. In health, you'll experience renewal and vigor. In your purpose, you'll find clarity and direction. No area will remain untouched by the transforming power of this victory that manifests. As this manifestation progresses, you will become a channel of blessing for others. Your victory is not just for you, but for all those who are connected to you. Like concentric circles that expand when a stone is thrown into water, the influence of your victory will extend beyond the limits of your personal life, touching family, friends, community, and even people you don't yet know. The speed of manifestation is directly linked to your ability to believe and receive. The more you align with this truth, declaring it, living it, breathing it, the more quickly you'll see the fullness of victory unfolding. Don't allow doubts or fears to slow down this process. Keep your heart and mind focused on the truth that has already been established. Victory is yours. Soon, you'll look back and see with clarity how each piece fit together perfectly. What seemed like chaos will reveal its divine order. What seemed like delay will show its perfect purpose. What seemed like defeat will transform into the platform for your greatest triumph. The manifestation of your victory will not only transform your circumstances, but also your understanding of how God operates in your life. Chosen one, the manifestation of your victory is already underway. It's not a distant possibility, but a present reality that unfolds at every moment. Align your thoughts, words, and actions with this truth. Live today as one who already possesses what was promised. Your faith will accelerate the manifestation of what has already been decreed in heaven. Victory is certain because God has already ended your battle. When heaven decrees abundance over your life, the entire universe begins to respond. Chosen one, prepare yourself to recognize the divine signs that are already reaching you. These are not mere coincidences or fortunate chances. They are deliberate manifestations of the celestial order that has been established over your life. The scarcity that for so long seemed to be your reality is coming to an end, and a new era of overflow is beginning. The first sign of abundance often appears in your dreams and thoughts. You'll begin to have ideas you never had before, visualize possibilities that seemed unreachable, and dream of achievements so grand that you'll almost hesitate to share them with others. Don't dismiss these thoughts as mere fantasies. They are divine seeds being planted in your spirit, prophetic visions of what is about to manifest in your reality. Observe how unexpected people will begin to enter your life. Divine connections are being formed at this very moment. Individuals who possess exactly the resources, knowledge, or opportunities you need will appear as if they had been sent directly from heaven. And indeed they were. These are not common relationships, but strategic bridges that will take you to the next level of your abundance journey. Another powerful sign will be the sudden resolution of old problems. Situations that have kept you trapped for years will begin to untangle with surprising ease. Debts that seemed impossible to settle will find paths to liquidation. Doors that have been closed for so long will open without you needing to force them. These are not random events, but tangible manifestations of the abundance that has been decreed over your life. You'll also notice a change in how others perceive you. People who previously ignored your ideas will now seem eager to hear what you have to say. Those who doubted your potential will begin to recognize your value. This recognition doesn't come because you changed your appearance or behavior, but because the light of divine abundance is now shining upon you, impossible to be ignored by those around you. Abundance will also manifest in your health and vitality. You'll experience a level of energy you haven't felt in years. Chronic problems will begin to improve without apparent medical explanation. Your body will respond in new ways to nutrition and exercise. This physical renewal is a reflection of the divine order that has been established over every cell of your being. Abundance is not just financial, it permeates your entire being. One of the most significant signs will be an inexplicable inner peace. In the midst of circumstances that would have previously left you anxious or fearful, you'll feel a supernatural calm. This is not alienation or indifference, but evidence that internally you already know that everything is aligning in your favor. This peace is your spirit's testimony that divine abundance has become your new reality. Financially, you'll begin to notice unusual patterns of provision. Resources will come from unexpected sources. Income opportunities you hadn't even considered will present themselves clearly. Investments will begin to produce multiplied returns. Even your expenses will seem to go further, as if each dollar in your hands has expanded power. This is the tangible effect of supernatural abundance operating in your finances. In your relationships, abundance will manifest as a depth and richness that transcends the ordinary. Superficial connections will transform into meaningful bonds. Long-standing conflicts will find resolution. You'll discover a new capacity to love and be loved without the limitations of fear or insecurity. Emotional scarcity gives way to an overflow of genuine human connection. Your creativity and problem-solving ability will reach new heights. Where before you saw only obstacles, now you'll see opportunities. Innovative solutions will arise in your mind so naturally that they'll seem obvious. This mental clarity is not the result of any technique you've learned, but of the flow of divine wisdom that now runs freely through your being. You'll begin to receive invitations and opportunities that previously seemed reserved only for others. Doors of influence will open. Platforms to share your gifts will multiply. Your circle of impact will expand in ways you can barely imagine now. These are not privileges you had to relentlessly pursue. They are natural manifestations of the abundance that was decreed over your life. Perhaps the most profound sign will be a new understanding of your purpose and identity. You'll begin to see yourself not through the lens of limitation and lack, but through the truth of divine abundance. This shift in perspective will fundamentally alter how you navigate the world, the decisions you make, and the dreams you dare to pursue. You'll move with the confidence of someone who knows their worth and their calling. Chosen one, the signs of abundance are not subtle or rare. They are multiplying around you at this very moment. Open your spiritual eyes to perceive them, recognize them, celebrate them, and most importantly, align with them through your faith, words, and actions. Abundance is not just your future destiny. It is your present reality unfolding in glorious manifestation. Even when victory has already been decreed, even when the battle has already been won in the spiritual realm, you will still encounter obstacles in the physical plane, not because the divine promise has failed, but because these are the last gasps of the resistance that opposes your destiny. These final obstacles are not barriers to your victory. They are opportunities to demonstrate the unshakable faith that has been forged in you through every challenge you've faced until now. These last obstacles may seem more intense than the previous ones, like the darkness that is deepest just before dawn. An unexpected crisis may arise, a rejection at the crucial moment, a delay at the decisive hour, or even internal doubts that seem stronger than ever. Recognize these for what they really are, not signs of failure, but confirmations that you are at the frontier of your greatest manifestation. Unshakable faith is not that which never encounters opposition, but that which remains firm, especially when confronted with the impossible. It's the faith that looks at the mountain and doesn't question if it can be moved, but only when it will begin to move. It's the deep conviction that what God promised, He is powerful to fulfill, regardless of the visible circumstances that seem to contradict His word. In moments when these final obstacles seem insurmountable, turn your attention not to the size of the challenge, but to the size of your God. Recall every moment when the impossible became possible in your life. Relive each instance when a door opened when all seemed closed. These are not just memories. They are anchors for your soul, living testimonies of the power that operates in you and through you. Unshakable faith manifests through powerful declarations, even when everything seems to contradict what you proclaim. While others speak of problems, you declare solutions. While many see defeat, you announce victory. While the world sees scarcity, you proclaim abundance. Your words are not mere expressions of desire. They are instruments of creation, aligned with the power that formed the universe through "Let there be light." Your body may feel fatigue. Your mind may be tempted by doubt. Your emotions may fluctuate with uncertainty. But your spirit, that deepest part of your being that is connected with the divine, knows that you have already won. Allow this inner wisdom to guide your steps when the final obstacles present themselves. Unshakable faith is not denial of reality, but recognition of a higher truth that transcends temporary appearances. These final obstacles often appear to refine specific aspects of your character that need to be strengthened before the complete manifestation of your victory. Perhaps it's patience, perseverance, humility, or the ability to maintain peace amid chaos. Each challenge is personalized with divine precision to complete in you the work that was initiated. Don't resist this refinement process. Embrace it, knowing that you're being prepared to sustain the weight of the glory that is to come. Unshakable faith is expressed not only in moments of exalted inspiration, but in the consistency of small daily choices. It's deciding to trust even when you don't feel like trusting. It's choosing gratitude even when there seems to be nothing to be grateful for. It's taking the next step even when the path is not completely illuminated. This silent consistency is what eventually breaks through the final obstacles that stand between you and your destiny. Remember, giants appear not to prevent your arrival at the promised land, but to confirm that you are on the threshold of it. When David faced Goliath, that giant was not a sign that he should give up. It was confirmation that he was ready to become king. Similarly, the final obstacles you face now are evidence that your victory is closer than ever. Unshakable faith also manifests in community. Connect with those who share your vision, who speak life over your dreams, who reinforce divine promises when your own voice fails. Move away from voices of doubt and negativity. In this crucial phase of your journey, the atmosphere you cultivate around you is as important as the conviction you maintain internally. Don't confuse obstacles with permanent blockages. An obstacle is just a temporary detour, a momentary resistance, a test of perseverance. Your unshakable faith transforms each obstacle into a stepping stone, each resistance into momentum, each challenge into a platform for demonstrating divine power. What the enemy planned for your setback, God will use for your advancement. Soon, you'll look at these final obstacles with gratitude, recognizing how each one was instrumental in your preparation. You'll see with clarity how each challenge strengthened precisely the spiritual muscles you would need to carry the weight of your victory. Nothing was wasted, nothing was in vain, nothing was accidental. Chosen one, your unshakable faith is not the result of what you can do, but of what you know God has already done. He has ended your battle. He has guaranteed your victory. The final obstacles are not to defeat you, but to highlight the extraordinary power that operates in you. Move forward with unshakable confidence, knowing that each step brings you closer to the complete manifestation of what has already been established in the celestial realm. The time has come that justifies every tear shed, every sleepless night, every seemingly unanswered prayer. The time of your divine reward has finally arrived. Not just any reward, but a supernatural manifestation that infinitely exceeds everything you dared to ask or imagine. This is not just a turn in your circumstances. It is a complete transformation of your reality. The reward for your perseverance is not just something you receive, it's something you've become capable of sustaining. Many receive blessings, but few can maintain them because they weren't formed by the fire of perseverance. You, however, have been tested and approved. What is coming to you now will not be temporary or fleeting. It will be lasting because you've developed the character necessary to manage it. Visualize for a moment the transformation that is already underway. That financial situation that seemed hopelessly complicated is being reorganized by divine hands. The relationships that seemed irreparably broken are being restored by a power greater than any human resentment. The doors that remained stubbornly closed are being flung open without you needing to force them. This is the tangible reward for your intangible perseverance. The reward that is reaching you doesn't follow the logic of human compensation, which says you receive exactly the equivalent of your effort. Your reward follows the divine economy of grace, which operates in supernatural multiplication. For each seed of faith you planted, you will harvest an entire forest. For each step of obedience you took, you will receive miles of divine favor. For each sacrifice you made, an abundance will come that defies comprehension. Understand that this reward is not just for you. You have been strategically positioned as a channel of blessings that will flow through you to impact countless lives. People you don't even know yet will benefit from the manifestation that is occurring in your life. Your testimony will become a beacon of hope, inspiring others to persevere in their own journeys. Scripture declares that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Your story was never about failure or abandonment. It was always about divine perfection, culminating in this moment of glorious reward. God's apparent silence was not absence, but the meticulous work of an artist preparing his masterpiece for the perfect moment of revelation. This reward will bring a peace that transcends understanding, a joy that doesn't depend on circumstances, and an unshakable confidence in the Creator who never abandoned you. While material blessings flow into your life, and they certainly will flow, you'll discover that the greatest reward is the inner transformation that has occurred. You are no longer the same person who began this journey. Observe how your priorities will change as you receive this reward. What previously seemed urgent now reveals itself as insignificant. What you previously neglected now shows itself as deeply valuable. This clarity of purpose and values is an integral part of your reward. The ability to see life through the lens of eternity, no longer limited by the myopia of temporal urgency. Your reward will also manifest in the form of expanded spiritual authority. Your words will carry a weight they didn't have before. Your prayers will be answered with surprising speed. Your presence will bring an atmosphere of peace and expectation wherever you go. This is not power for domination, but authority for transformation, a direct reflection of the perseverance you've demonstrated. From today, establish in your heart an active expectation to receive what has already been decreed, not as one who doubts if the reward will come, but as one who prepares the barn knowing that the harvest is certain. Reorganize your schedule, expand your plans, prepare yourself to manage abundance. Your capacity to receive is directly linked to your willingness to prepare for the magnitude of what is coming. Remember that each divine promise has a designated time for manifestation, and that time is now. As it is written, at the proper time you will reap if you do not give up. You didn't give up. You persevered when others abandoned the path. You maintained your faith when logic suggested disbelief. And now, at the perfect time, your harvest has arrived. In the coming days, weeks, and months, you will witness an avalanche of divine fulfillments. Promises that seemed forgotten will materialize one after another. The seeds you planted in times of scarcity, watered with tears of faith, will bloom into gardens of abundance. This is not the end of your journey. It is the glorious beginning of a new chapter. Chosen one, the reward for your perseverance is not just an event. It is a new reality. Not just a moment of celebration, but an eternal legacy. Not just a blessing you receive, but a testimony you become. God has ended your battle. Victory is certain, and the reward for your perseverance will transcend everything you ever imagined possible.